to get your information. Total Spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, Spoon, Spoon Television. Spoon, Spoon, Spoon Radio Station. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Funjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat kebab, congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba. What I want? This one you got today. Spoon TV. This one you got today. Spoon TV. Spoon Spoon Entertainment. Yes, I information. Spoon Television.
On the beat.
Spoon to get your information. Total Spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon Television. Spoon Radio Station. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Funjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat kebab, congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, to spoon. Yeah.
Okay, folks, it's another great evening in Monrovia. What a way to welcome you to the program Spoon Talk.
Charges on the beat.
another great edition of the program. It promises to be one that you will enjoy, certainly. Welcome. This is Spoon Talk. We live on Spoon 107.5 FM, Fabric 101.1 FM, and Super 95.5 FM. And of course, we online Spoon TV Live, Fabric TV Live, Super TV Live, and of course on YouTube, Spoon Talk Live. I'm Nelson Collier. Let me say welcome to Dr. Richardson and also to James Goode, James Samuel Goode Flomo. Good evening, Dr. Richardson, and good evening, James.
Nelson, hello, James. Yeah, hello. How you doing?
Good morning, also.
Ah,
Yeah, great. Nelson, I'm good. What's up?
Yeah, I'm doing good as well.
that's
Great.
awesome.
And I'm glad to see all of you. I see James trying to button your shirt. Yeah.
Trying to, it's like you unbuttoning your sleeves like you're trying to get ready for something, you know?
Yeah. It's like somebody getting ready for a fight.
Yeah, or trying to
No,
eat or something.
I'm
You
not
got
getting
some
ready for
kufu.
a fight.
James, you got some kufu over there. You're trying to maybe with raw palmer or something. You want to raw palmer to get your shirt. You just folding it like that. You screaming you all the way to put in country. No raw palmer there. Good, so I give raw palmer.
Dr. Richardson,
Yeah.
Dr. Richardson, they make it be all in the African market looking for potato green and bitter ball. So you can go to eat and say, wow.
That's true. You know, I can't laugh at that man too hard because me and he in the same boat, but I think I'm a little better than him because you know we have to diversify this great United States.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't laugh at him too hard. I was looking for snail the last time. My my sister was cooking GB soup. So I said, she cook it and freeze it. She's supposed to send it to me. Because you know, brought dry fish from Liberia will come in, right?
Yeah.
So we put jelly dry fish in the snake. So I said, cook it and freeze it and send it to me. So I can't laugh at James too hard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But the good thing about it, we laughing and stuff like that. When you're Liberian, I don't care what you do. Once you go anywhere, that food just gotta be inside of you. So you just gotta eat it. That's how it is. That's how we Liberians are. So let's just welcome all of our viewers today. You guys will be giving us the trending news very soon. You're gonna be telling us the news because it is the station is for Liberians. They need to be here to be very informed. I'm sure they're coming around, getting themselves together to sit down and listen to the trending issues in Liberia. This station is for you, Liberians. It is for you to get the information. We're going to talk about it, discuss it in different ways, slice it and dice it, and then you marinate a little bit, and then when election day come or when there's decisions that are being made in our country, you as a Liberian, you will stand up and make decisions for Liberia because you're listening to Liberia station. All right. So Nelson and Good Day, you guys want to give us some of the trending issues in the country?
Yeah, a lot of things happening in the country. One of the big happenings today is that the draft national budget was passed. Yeah, so most times when you talk to lawmakers and some people working in government, they say it's not easy, the budget not passed yet. So today the budget was passed in the tune of some 700 million United States dollars. So that's one of the big things today, and I know it will be discussed in detail today on the show, so I don't want to go in there, but that's one of the big things in the country today, talking about the passage of the national budget. And so yeah, you wanted to, you were trying to come in?
No, go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Let me mute myself. I have someone in my house doing some work, so let me mute myself.
Okay. Yeah. So but there were some side attractions as this issue with the passage of the budget went on. Usually we say here that the legislature is the biggest political theater where those lawmakers get to debate the issues from different sides. So there was an issue raised today by one of the lawmakers from Bon County, Madam Moema Bridge Mensah, regarding the budget. She pointed out that there are some things captured in the budget, like institutions captured in the budget that don't really exist. She went on to point at somewhere she called the Bondwe Health Center. According to her, it doesn't exist as far as she knows as a lawmaker in the county, but it's captured in the budget, and so forth. So, and there were some of the lawmakers who also debated issues about some ghost institutions being captured and so forth. So for them, they were kind of describing the budget as a campaign budget, and so forth. But finally, it was passed today. So I think that's one of the great things for the country.
Nelson, in our country like Liberia, they got political rule. You come to can't add political budget to a Guinea, got political water. What were we that face that? They are political campaign, everything. But to just be serious a little bit, you're raising such a good point. And James Goodday gonna come in, and we're gonna go into this a little bit more. But Bonue Health Center, yeah, Bonue Health Center, Representative Briggs, right? She was the one who said, she's looking for it. She can't find it in Liberia.
Yeah, she can't find it.
And then, but in the political budget.
Yeah, some of them were terming the budget as campaign budget.
But basically, it's a campaign budget.
Well, campaign, political campaign budget.
Yeah.
I think it's our national budget, but the politicians who talk the politics usually. So it was a dramatic scene today. I don't know whether Dr. Richardson, you had time. Okay,
can I show a little highlight?
Yes, James will show a little highlight of it. Let our viewers get to see what we're talking about. And then we'll show it again because when our panelists come on, we will be discussing the budget scenario that happened today. So we'll then show it again so we can all be familiarized with what's going on in Liberia, because this is Liberia station. And all of the Liberians need to know what's happening in our country. So James, show it, man. Please.
Let me tell you, there will be no session. There will be no session. Document, Honorable Swakoko Dennis. Don't carry it back. There will be no session. There will be no session. There will be no session, Mr. Speaker. You will have to put it before the agenda. There will be no session. There will be no session, Speaker. The constitution is higher than ethics, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the constitution is higher than the ethics. You can't call the constitution with ethics. We don't want to speak that no more political ethics. When you call ethics, the constitution is higher than the ethics. There will be no session here. There will follow money, the budget was speaking that no more money to ethics. But there's some president that don't want to make a meeting. That's all. That will not work here. There will not work. There will be no session here.
Wow. Wow.
That's just one of many.
My head.
And I saw a caption on one of those pages today online. They say the capital turns really market. Caption I saw today. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So those are some of the dramas today. But Dr. Richardson, another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can I go on?
Yes, go ahead. Something else that happened.
Okay.
Trending news.
Okay, yeah. So
Hold
another
on,
thing,
Yeke. I mean, Nelson, hold on. Good day. Can you see if you can reach out to Yeke for him to come and explain Yeke or Swakoko or Madam Briggs? So, or you can text me in the background. I would like for someone who was there to come and just.
Yeah. I spoke
Yeah.
with Yeke. Yeke said he will come on. He also said he was reaching out to Representative Swakoko Dennis because I don't
Okay.
have her number. If anybody
Okay.
listening, you get her number, just send it to me.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to hear from the horse's mouth. Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead, Nelson. Please. Sorry for the interruption.
yeah. So another thing today is that the international community in the country uh released a joint statement today applauding the government of Liberia. As we know, a couple of weeks ago, there was a decision that was reached by the traditional council in our country to put an end to female genital mutilation in the country. Is something that was celebrated by some, and other people had their own reactions to that. But the international community today released a statement applauding the government of Liberia for such a milestone. Yeah, and that's because it's something that they've been calling for a very long time. And then finally, there is this pension bill, pension and retirement bill, that controversial bill that received some backlashes today. That received some backlashes since it got introduced at the legislature. Liberians have been divided on that. It suffered another setback today when lawmakers debated heavily on the passage of that bill. It wasn't passed as it surfaced on the floor today, talking about setting aside some benefits for representatives and senators who serve the country after their retirement. So some lawmakers are saying that it's a bad bill, it's not good, while some people are saying that based on the services that those representatives and senators render to the country, is just important for them to receive some sort of a benefit after serving the country. Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. Nelson, thank you so much for giving us the trending issues. Awesome. I support the government and the United States government that call on how well the government is doing in terms of stopping female genital circumcision. That is a win for our country. And so the pension bill, we're going to explore that more. We're going to get more understanding. I know we talked about this on the show before, but I want to hear the pros and cons a little bit more, and then we'll definitely will bring that news. We'll continue to speak about that news to the Liberian people so they can come and listen. Good day. What's on your plate?
Well, today we saw the chair on public works, that's Senator Snow, and the chair on executive, Senator Joseph. We saw the both of them on the RIA highway, that is the RIA route. Specifically, they were around the SKD complex there, inspecting and talking about how the team should also create a detour. When you are doing a road, you need a detour. So they were there today. Inspection went on, and it shows that they are satisfied with the works that are going on. And another one,
Do you have any clips of that? Good day. Do you have any clips of pictures to show? Do you want to just Do you want to just hold that when the panelists come on? I'm going to put that into the agenda for us to discuss as well.
All right. Yeah, all right. I have both of them spoke. I have clips of them.
Awesome.
Awesome. And another one, recently we saw a statement from the Commission on Higher Education in Liberia, talking about people who will hear universities or colleges in Liberia, specifically universities. They should have at least PhD. They should have PhD, not at least. They should have PhD, not something that someone would say, "Hey, we honor you with it."
Confer degrees, yeah.
Yeah, not that they don't want to deal with confer or whatever you may term it. You should work for it. So today, Senator Bocha Sogbe, Senator Sogbe, we in Abira he's known as Bocha.
Okay.
Today he raised that in session, so that shows that the Senate is getting ready, or there are senators on Capitol Hill now who are following this issue that has to do with fake degree that has been that Martin has been campaigning for, Martin and his team. So today, Bocha talk about it in session. So in the coming days or weeks or months, maybe Senator Sogbe and other senators, it's possible that they may likely come up with something towards fake degree, or people who are hailing universities without PhD but honorary PhD. We see something happening. We heard that the Ministry of Education suspended that mandate that came from the Commission on Higher Education. But today, we saw the Commission on Higher Education also at the Cottington University. We saw their team there doing some inspection. So I don't know who is. Oh, okay, you will come back on. We don't know who is who now, but we hope to see at the end of the day whether the minister's pronouncement about suspending it will hold, or the commission will continue its inspection towards people who don't have PhD, but they are heading universities in Liberia.
Wow, great. So to some extent, our leaders are listening. I believe Martin Colley, I want to give him all the kudos and credit, who's been, exploring the credentials of people who are carrying these degrees, or allegedly saying that they are, PhD holders or have doctorate degrees. And Martin Colley has been kind of making sure that our country is educated by people who are themselves educated or worked hard to get their degrees. And so I want to give him credit for that. And hopefully we'll hear more, hopefully when the legislature look at it and see if they probably will side with the higher education agency or committee that wants to make sure that people get in the right position. So great. Thank you, James. Thank you for sharing that information. Let me just turn over, if it's okay with you, James, to welcome our viewers. A part of the program that I enjoy doing, because I've always held the view that this program is for Liberians, and I've always held the view of making sure that this program present information to Liberians for them to be able to make more informed decisions about the upward movement of our country. How can we bring our country up to par with other countries in our region and perhaps around the world? So Liberians, I'd like to welcome you to our program wherever you are. If you're on social media, please share the show. If you are home watching, listening to the show, we thank you for being here. You could have been doing plenty of things here today. You could have been, resting yourself. You came from work, but we thank you for being here. I always like to welcome our guests. I want to welcome Tipos PK Dempster. He's here. Parker Roberts is also here. I'd like to welcome Dukli Kamara. He's watching from Maryland, USA. Thank you for coming, for being here as well. Vic Jet is also watching from Whiteland, Indiana. Thank you for being here, Vic. Samuel T. Don is watching from Vartown, Bushrod Island. Samuel T. Don, thank you for being here as well. Ibrahim Sano is watching from the UK. So we have someone watching from the UK. That's show you how far stretched and far reach of Spoon TV, which is awesome. Rebecca Gussie, I believe I saw you somewhere here. Let me go back a little bit. Yes, Rebecca Gussie is my own sis. Thank you for watching. She's watching from Liberia, she says. Thank you for watching us. I knew you to be here. So thank you for being Liberia as well. David says, hey, thank you. Dominic Trocon Jones is watching as well. Thank you for coming here. Um, Jojo is also here. Jojo, thank you for being here. Rebecca K. Tyre is being here. Tyre, she's here. She's watching. Sayor Barley is watching from Minnesota. Thank you for watching. Mohammed S. Kane is watching from the Ukraine. Thank you for being here. I know it's tough being in the Ukraine. Our Liberian students that are in Ukraine, we want to tell you guys thank you for the strength that you demonstrated. I know it's not easy, it's hard, but just thank you for even just finding the time to watch Spoon just to hear what's going on in your country. So shout out to all of our students and other nationals and Liberians who are in the Ukraine. As James told us yesterday, the president of the United States, Joe Biden, was in the Ukraine. He's there now. He's still there. Okay.
He's still here. He spoke from here today in Warsaw.
Yeah, he's in Poland, right? He's in Warsaw. Yes, but he was in the Ukraine, and just to support the people of the Ukraine. So our hearts and thoughts goes out to all of those who are in Ukraine and also in Turkey, as we talked about yesterday. There was a significant earthquake in that area. Many Liberians are there. In fact, James let us know that Turkey hosts, I think it was you, James, or either Leo told us that that area, Turkey hosts the largest movie percentage of Liberian students. And so we want to make sure that to let them know that we're standing with them, we're holding them in our prayers, and that we pray that everything is okay with them. If you have family members or friends in Turkey, make sure that you are reaching out to them and find a way to support them one way or the other, because they are going through some difficult times. So thank you so much, James, for bringing that news to us. Jimmy Johnson is watching from Old Road Resident. Thank you, Jimmy Johnson. Mercy Freeman is also watching. Pete, the man from All the Countess, is also watching. Thank you for being here. James Jala is watching from Baltimore, Maryland, USA. Abraham Colette is watching from Dubai. I really somewhere that I really want to go. So thank you for being here. All the Liberians in Dubai, shout out to you. Lou Cooper is from Atlanta, Georgia. She's watching. Michael Tiki is watching from Painesville City. Thank you, Michael, for being here. Ambassador V. Masale is watching from, I had someone watching from Belgium, from Princeton, New Jersey. And I want to also capture Thomas Beer is watching from Belgium. Thank you for being here. Musu KK Fofana is also watching. Doris Tonian Thompson is also watching. She says, hey, Dr. Richardson. Doris, thank you for being here. And thank you for all of those who are texting and calling and giving me your support. As you know, it's not easy being a woman here. So it means a lot when I get your support from other women. Oops, something's happening to my thing. I'm falling apart here. Give me 1 second. James, just take over a little bit. Let me just get my camera station.
All right. So let me say welcome to you, Vanny Johnson. Vanny Johnson says, I'm watching from where? China. Welcome, bro. Marcus Soma, welcome. Rodney Dennis, welcome. And Amos K. Kennedy, I'm watching from Lisbon, Portugal. Welcome, my man. And I'm far from you. Cyrus Johnny, welcome. I don't know, the way the thing are growing fast. Elijah Frank, I'm watching from NJ. Welcome, bro. Rency Dunn, I'm watching from Ganta, Nimba County. Hey, my man, what's up? Hi, Nimba. I love Ganta. Ganta is my favorite city in Liberia. Not even Monrovia.
Yeah, James, I'm back. Sorry, I have a thing that is my computer is on and it just fell. And Enter Richard Deeks is watching from Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you very much, Enter Richard, for being here and for your constant support. Emmanuel Lamini is from Nicosia, North Cyprus. Oh, thank you for being here. I hope you're doing well. Sela. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to go back a little bit if you allow me to. No, it's not allowing me to. Just give me 1 second. I'll catch that person's name. There's something going on with my thing here. When it rains, it pours, right? Okay, now I'm back. I'm back in. There we go. I'm good. I'm good. Sorry, I just had to readjust the screen. So Leonardo Bobo is here. He says, "Thank you for being here, Leonardo Bobo." Uh, Patient Kula is here. She's watching from Liberia. Thank you for being here. Also, Gus Gulabe Swawe is watching from Northern Cyprus. Thank you for being here. Our support with you is with you. Prince Joe Smith, he's watching from the Republic of India. Thank you for being here, Joe. Thank you for joining the station to watch. I hope all of those Liberians that are in India are getting on to listen to news about their country, somewhere where they can come and get filter objective news from us and get our opinions and then go on to make their own opinion about what's going on in our country. James David is watching from Zawinta, Bone County. Zawinta, Bone County. I wonder where that place is. Zawinta. James, you know where I was? Zawinta, Zowinta, Bone County. Y'all know where that place is at? James, we can't hear you. They'll say you know where Zawinta. I'm just curious. I like some of the towns that we have.
Yeah, what's the spelling for the name? Z-O?
Zowinta. So Winter, Bone County.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, so Winter, if you're listening, you can tell where you're near. If you're listening, what place that place near, but would like to know. That just help us know our country better. More handful.
It should be located in Pong.
Yeah, he said in Pong County. It's not a Pong. It's not a better word to you, huh? So Winter.
Yeah.
So winter.
Oh, so in time. Nelson, you know the place?
Nelson Akperebo. He's from Bone County.
The name sounds familiar, but I really don't know the exact.
Someone
says it's in Palala. It's behind Palala.
Oh, yeah. All the way behind there. Yeah,
it's not on the road. Zawinta is not on the road.
Okay.
It should be inside.
Okay. Zawinta, everybody in Zawinta, your hello.
Okay, they say it's close to your home, Bon Mines.
I should know it, right? Yes, thank you. Yusuf A. Salif is also watching from Bone County. Brown Jonathan is also watching. Robert Zarwood is watching. Robert, thank you for being here today. Edwin Topo is watching from Nima County. Thank you very much, Edwin. We appreciate who are watching. We appreciate all of you guys who are watching. Somebody is saying that you guys should check the station, please. I don't know what's going on
here.
The
station is on.
Okay, thank you very much. Mohammed Jala is watching from Barnard Farm. Okay. Barnard Farm, Liberia. Thank you very much, Mohammed. I hope all of those who are in Barnard Farm are settling down for the evening and doing well. We're waiting for the rest of our panelists to roll in. I'm checking my phone right now to make sure that everybody's is good and okay. We basically, I send the information, and sometimes I'm rushing when I come from work, so I want to make sure that everybody got this information. We have different people on different schedules here today. Although I didn't really check the schedule, but I know Leo is probably traveling. I'm not sure if he's going to be here tonight. If he shows up, that would be awesome. I spoke to Colonel Remy Gray earlier. I think he's going to be here shortly. And I have to check to make sure that the rest of our panelists, they send me the schedule, but we just have to make sure everybody's on here. Let me just see who else is here. And this show is Liberian's show. I like to say that. You can come in. It's Liberia's show. Listen, get information, get educated about what's going on in our country. You're going to hear different sides of the story, but ultimately it is our country. We all have to take the responsibility to move our country forward. Always move our country forward. So we appreciate you being here. You who are in the comment section, just make sure that you just speak to us I will be looking at in that area, perhaps taking your comments and feedback about different topic. Yesterday, we were talking about gender issues, and Mommy Tarpy Tar, who's always watched us, she asked, what was the budget for gender ministry? I didn't get the answer to that yet, but I'm sure somebody around here, I did look at a budget today because I knew it was going to be a subject of discussion. But I'm just using that example to tell you that we will be taking some comments, some messages. We see how you're involved in the different subjects, the different topics that we discuss. So sometimes I'll just look over, and if you're saying something, that sort of could impact the conversation, I definitely will discuss that. So thank you very, very, very much. I appreciate that. Just keep on, being a part of us. Is James, anyone else in the back yet to bring on? Let me just call. I'm gonna. Can you guys continue talking? Let me just call my panelists, okay? Because it's 4:04. We got to be on time. We have to start on time. So let me call up. Can you just?
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, Nelson, I got you. All right. Welcome. If you're just joining us today on Capitol Hill, we saw a dramatic scene there where lawmakers had to debate by going extra miles, and we saw Yeke getting at his best. When I talk about Yeke getting at his best, you already know Representative Coluba, and it was great there. But at the end of the day, they had to settle for, passing the budget. But I spoke with Yeke after the passage of the budget. Yeke made so many allegations, and I hope he will come on. He made so many allegations. According to him, opposition lawmakers had a meeting prior to today, and they agreed that they were not going to sign, or they were not going to form part of the passage of the budget. But he also said Representative Thomas Fala there was financial inducement that went on, and he said he was also called to be induced, but he did not allow himself to go that route. And he claimed that other opposition lawmakers who were part of the meeting took the money. They took the money to pass the budget. So when it got in session today, he was left alone. Only him and Representative Swakoko Dennis had to stand up. And at the end of the day, other lawmakers who were there, District 17 lawmaker and so forth, he said all of them agreed, but they got induced financially. That is, they took money to pass the budget. So we hope that he will come on. We hope that Representative Coluba will come on to speak on that. He told me, he said, James, this is something that Representative Fala called me. Welcome, Honorable.
Thank you.
Yeah, he said this is something that Representative Fala called me to take the money, but I did not do it because I believe in Liberia. So we hope Representative Coluba will come back. Okay. Welcome, Dr. Richardson. I was just keeping the ground.
Thank you. Thank you very much, James. You did a great job. I was listening. Welcome, Honorable Fagon. I was just calling you. Look at your text. So I sent you a text as well. So today we have various topics to discuss. We have the budget issue. And of course, we had the situation with Simeon Taylor accusing Senator Sherman of controlling the the Kipman County Fund. And then, of course, Senator Snowe promised in previous time to deliver bombing to WIA. And he also said if WIA pays the bombing people $5 million, he will then deliver bombing to WIA. So we'll have that discussion. And then we know on the agenda also, there was in the AP News, talk about illegal logging in Liberia. And we want to bring that up because this is the reason why I'm going to talk about this is resources that could be used for our country to build our country. But we see there's illegal things that are going on. We're going to tell you what the AP News said about the illegal logging that's going on in the country. And finally, there was some talk about the Liberian court is looking for the American government to help them prosecute the people that brought the 100 million drug in the country, that brought drugs in the country, I'm sorry, they were looking to prosecute the people who brought the drugs in the country. So they want the help from the United States government. And so this is what we're going to be talking about. Hopefully we'll get to it. If not, we'll continue for tomorrow. Honorable Eugene Fagon, what's your take, just your opening remarks, your opening comments, and then we're going to go to James, and then hopefully as our panelists roll in, we'll get them to give us their opinion. What's your take on anything? You can talk about anything that's going on with you right now.
Well, thank you very much. Good afternoon to the peace-loving people of Liberia. Good evening wherever they are. Good morning if they're in Asia and other areas. Couple of things running across me. One of them would be the illegal logging that you talk about. There is something in Liberia referred to as pit sawing. Pit sawing is where you just enter the forest, cut any kind of tree, turn it into wood. But growing up, there was something we used to look at, the Forestry Development Authority. As a matter of fact, we also have we had the Mano River Forestry Training Institute in Bomi, and I live right near that campus, and it was fun, you know, going there and eating the people food. The students came from as far as the Gambia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Liberia. Wow. And yes, big campus, Forestry Training Institute. But guess what? Today, the FDA is owned by President Weah and C. McDonough. It's the main thing they focus on is dry meat and bush meat to kind of steer the people in the direction of the bush meat and dry meat. Don't kill the animals, but the trees are disappearing. I got on this a little bit late, but I'm going to do a little bit of research on what I know with respect to the Norwegian government and how much that government gave. Because of deforestation, the Norwegian government wanted reforestation, and that money was eaten. I will do a little bit more research and let you know. But the Forestry Development Authority is owned by President Weah and C. McDonough, just like the Lands and Mines Ministry is owned by Albert Che and President Weah that controls that ministry. The other thing that I'd like to talk about, and I thought would have been here today, but I got it late. James Goodday, if you can contact, what's his name, Flammer, G. Flammer, and say, please send me all the documents relative to Wambudiki. Let me tell you something. I don't know if you ever heard about Udubusi Wambudiki. Udubusi Wambudiki entered the law school fraudulently. Udubusi Wambudiki graduated, entered the Supreme Court bar fraudulently. Udubusi Wambudiki entered government fraudulently through the different positions he held. Udubusi Wambudiki entered the United Nations system as a Liberian attorney. Udubusi Wambudiki became the Governance Commission boss. Udubusi Wambudiki was heading to become, if I'm not mistaken, he became the LACC boss. That was where he was headed. Yes. Then they said no. So then he was headed to NEC when the Senate booted him out. Now, guess what happened? It will amaze you to note that on February 9, a Liberian court, if I'm not mistaken, criminal could be, I stand to be corrected by Goodday Flomo or Flammer. Choko Flammer will send you all that information here in a minute. Udubusi Wambudiki went to the court and got Liberian citizenship on February 9. So, what citizenship did Wambudiki use to get a Liberian passport, get admitted to the law school, get admitted to the Supreme Court bar? Everywhere he went, everything he did. So the court, it was the reverse. The court simply said, you were not a citizen, so we're going to make you a citizen. So if you were not a citizen and you Judge Kobwe Nuta of Criminal Code B. That's him. Criminal Code B. Judge Kobwe Nuta, February 9, 2023. What? So, if this man was not a Liberian citizen, that is an act of fraud, perjury, criminal, any way you want to call it. But you granted him Liberian citizenship on February 9. So all the other things that he did before, was it a crime? If it was a crime, why did it take a short time to grant him citizenship? That's the other thing that's on my mind. Last but not the least on my mind is that I was privileged to have a conversation with the Chief Executive Officer of Spoon Network. And in our conversation, I asked him to confer with his legal team as well as his wife. Yes, we're not going to touch the case. No, it's not his legal case. But I strongly believe that he needs to answer the 4 Hebrew boys, because we need to know some facts as opposed to the fiction. We already know some facts, but it would be wise for him to come and answer some questions relative to the resignation of the 4 Hebrew boys. And I think with that said, he promised me he would get to his legal team, he would get to his wife, and if it's feasible, he will be on here, and we will call some of the very people they talk to, such as the Costa. As you know, they went from Focus on Liberia to the Costa Show, to Freedom FM, to Jida Hot Talk. So they have been on a media spree. And I believe the Liberian people deserve to know the truth. Who's telling the truth? And we don't just want talk. We want evidence. So I spoke with him, and I believe his wife will want him to clear the air. But I told him to talk to his wife and his legal team, that the Liberian people deserve to know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And based on what I know so far, not from Dr. Francine, who are in our chat room, not from him, the CEO, and you good there who can't tell me nothing, but I know Liberian people trust me. Based on what I know so far, if he comes on, game over. Now, all I can say, I know you better laugh at me, so I can't be serious.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Fagon. We're gonna talk. Thank you for your updates. We're gonna have James Goodday show the first clip, which is about the budget. Okay, as you know, Mr. Warzi, and you're gonna pronounce. Tell me that the man in Warzi is Wazi.
Hey, you see that Lama man look at you too.
That Wazi. Yes.
Wazi.
Yeah.
Wazi.
You can't force her to speak Loma now. Eh?
Yes.
But I Loma speaking.
The interesting thing
about this, Loma.
The interesting thing about this is he's very mathematical. We want someone who knows how to analyze the budget, and he will come on and elaborate on the budget for us. I spoke to him. He's going to be able to do that. He's also knows how the government works. He works within the government, and so they will be able to tell us more. We're going to have an ongoing conversation about this budget. So, James, can you just show us again, for those of you who are joining us, we saw this clip before, and show us the different clips that you have as to what happened. And then when Honorable Yeke is ready to come on to tell us, because he was there, please bring him on as well, James. Thank you.
Sorry, I was not getting you.
Oh, I was telling you to please bring the tape on, what happened with regarding the budget today, and then the different tapes that you have. Okay. And then when Honorable Yeke is ready to come on, please let me know or if you're going to call him, guys, we did reach out to him to come on to tell us what happened, because he was one of the voices in the legislature today disagreeing with the budget process. So I just want to hear why he disagreed. Okay. All right. So play the clip for us too, James.
Yes, sir.
We went for you.
Oh, God, you haven't explained to us. It's just a shut up. Yeah, man, explain to us. Yeah. No, we are still. No, I did. Let's see how that.
Wow. I continue to say wow. You know, I heard earlier from Nelson Collette, who said that the argument is about the different allotments that are in the budget. They are saying that there are money in the budget that are going to places that are not existing in Liberia. And so I see active participants like Swakoko Dennis. I see her very upset and passionate about wanting questions to be answered before she passed the budget or agreed to pass the budget. I see Honorable Yeke Koluba, again, objecting strongly to passing this budget. But sadly, the budget passed. So it's very confusing to me, what happened? What happened? Because if you are allotting money to places and for things in the country that are not existing, then why would anybody want to agree to pass that budget, or why would anybody object to anybody asking more questions that please show me where the place is, please show me where the money going to in order for me to vote yes? So the question that I have again, and I'm sure you listen to me, Mr. Falcon, you probably can come and answer more questions and add to my concerns. Where is the money going? If you put in money in the budget for places that are not existing, then there's something suspicious that is going on here. So, we'll be talking, we'll go line by line. James, I will send James clip so he can show. I saw the budget briefly today. We'll show James clip of these different areas in the budget so the Liberian people can see it. It won't be that we are saying it. Of course, we are speaking to the Liberian people and wanted to be well knowledgeable about what is happening here. So, your thoughts, Minister Falcon, and then we'll go to James. Good day.
The first thing I like to look at the optics. If you look at the tape, you will see that when they went after the speaker, the guy sitting next to the speaker was Representative Kwawu. He's from some part of Gbapulu there. And then after it got heated, apparently, and I say apparently, they sent for the deputy speaker for Natikofa. And like I always say, he's poised to become the next speaker regardless of who wins. The people in the House are determined to change buffer chambers. And that's something I myself wholeheartedly support. Because as you can see now, we leave from the optics. Once he comes in and sits as deputy speaker, the situation will go on, but subsequently brought under control. But what was the contention there? We went to your office, meaning they are equals amongst equals. They're all representative, regardless of the fact that he's speaker. And they tried to confront him on the issue. He paid them no mind. This speaks into the Southeastern Company that I talk about. Most of the guys playing around with the budget there are either from the CDC, whether it be Thomas Fala or Dixon Sibo, they all play, they're from the CDC. And what has happened, what you saw the distress talking about, is the fact that you cannot pass a budget in the absence of a budget performance report of the previous budget. Last budget, these people passed a budget that they didn't even know they were passing. And you got to know that there was, what, 11 million in there for rice?
Mm-hmm.
And they came there and acted like it was their first time hearing about it. Other monies that they passed in the budget, they acted like it was their first time hearing about it. So, one, in the absence of a budget performance report, they saw appropriations that they questioned. Last year, there was 70 million in the budget to pay off debts. This year, they're saying that they don't know who they pay, who these monies went to, who the money was paid to. No report, nothing. They don't have that issue with them. Come to find out that these same people are passing a budget without a debate. And that's the key statement I want you to take from me today. Passing a budget without a debate on the floor. There should be a debate. The Constitution says that the House will make appropriations. It did not say the Speaker or a representative. Therefore, there must be a debate. But as we say in legislative politics, the minority will have their say. That's Yeke, Swakoko, and the others. But the majority will have their way. And then the Liberian people will have their day. And that is voting day. But when you look at the optics and what we saw in there, pretty much disturbing. But we must look at the facts. The fact points to it that they did not do due diligence, and they will pass their same budget, not even knowing that $6 million is in the budget for bathing soap. And then we'll come out on the same platform and be chasing it around in circles, and they wouldn't be able to tell us anything. That is the sad story, and that is the sad reality.
Yes. So my concern or my thoughts is actually, I'm not really worried about the disruptive behaviors of some of the leaders, some of the legislators. This happens all around the world periodically. You know, we'll find legislators acting in a disruptive way. But you know, my concern is, like you said, there. Yes, James. Good day. Good day. Did you want to tell me something? Oh, okay. So my concern is, you know, when you have to discuss the budget, like you said, Honorable Fagon, in order for you to be knowledgeable about the budget as a legislature, because we know the budget originates in the executive branch. So when it gets down to them, they have to be able to, just give me 1 second. I just have to check. Okay. Yes. They have to be able to know what they're talking. We're going to bring Honorable Yeke on. He was there for him to give us further information about as to what happened there today. So thank you, James Goode. Please bring him on.
Yeah, just 1 minute he will be on.
Okay.
Continue in 1 minute he coming on.
Yes, yes. So again, you know,
I just sent Goode some kind of juicy video that will give you an idea with Nyombli speaking. Now, here out, James. Me, I left facts versus fiction.
Please go ahead and play that, James, as we wait for it. I don't know what it was. Okay, good. Thank you. Honorable Yeke Koluba, thank you for joining us again. Thank you for... How you come here with such a bomb and laugh like that? It's
Yeke
I'm,
is
laugh, I'm
bad.
laughing at Fagon. You know
Oh.
when Fagon sees my baby's passport, Fagon was trying to justify how my wife run out with the babies. But you still my brother, Fagon.
Yes.
Point of
So,
correction, I obey law.
Yeah, no problem. Yes, sir.
so Yeke, thank you for joining us today.
Yes,
I
sir.
saw you in the videotape today that you are very passionate about our country, Liberia, and making sure that money that are from taxpayers, Liberians, and from donors are going to the appropriate places for the development of our country. And so I want you to just give our audience a little background as to what happened, what made you really, really so aggravated today when these people was discussing the budget. Can you please just tell us, what happened?
Okay, let me say good evening to everybody on the show, and good evening to the Port District number 10, my supporters, and the people around the world, the Liberians around the world. You know, every day I get disappointed and frustrated in people we call oppositions. Before this day, we went to a meeting with some of our opposition colleagues. I'm going to respect I'm going to respect them. I'm not going to call their names. We met with the speaker, telling him our disappointment and the reason why we don't want the budget to be passed. So before this day, we all agree that we will ensure and assure that this budget don't pass, because let's take for example today one of our colleagues, Honorable Colette from Bon County, stood up and said money is going to a clinic that does not exist. That's a disgrace to the House of Representatives for us to carve a budget. Like I said, people place money in the budget to steal the Lebrenpo money. And I stand my statement. I'm not going to reverse my statement. I stand by it today. I stand by it tomorrow. It was proven by Honorable Colette today that the clinic in Bon County that does not exist, money was placed in the budget for that clinic. That's an embarrassment to this country. Look, the budget is just to enrich certain people and give the president more money for his campaign. The budget is a campaign budget. That is why I said, Mr. Speaker, I'll be ready to vote. If you can put in the budget, let a budget line be created. You can call about 500,000. I can justify why the 500,000 will come to me. Because we sit there and the Lebrenpo money and the Lebrenpo resources being abused by us lawmakers. And let me say this for the public. If I will have to campaign for the opposition, some district will reach to while Honorable Bwaka is campaigning for himself and want to raise our representative candidate here, I'll be campaigning for Honorable Bwaka and campaigning against the representative. I will have no regret to do it. While I will be campaigning for Honorable Cummins, when we go to a district where Honorable Cummins see that those people that were pretending to be opposition and were in collaboration with the government, the executive, to dupe the Liberian people, to put some of them hand up, I will be campaigning for Honorable Cummins, not that representative. I will be campaigning against that representative. So they better don't carry me anywhere, because I will do it. They better don't take me to anywhere and let them read my lips today. Let them read my lips today. We cannot be opposition. We have meetings and we'll go against the interests of the Liberian people. I voted against the budget. Watch the voting. And Swakoko abstained from the vote. I voted against it. And I know my reason. The budget is not in the interest of the Liberian people. The budget in the interest of few of us that want to eat and the Liberian people suffer. It was proven today. If a budget can be carved, only for lawmakers to acknowledge that money was placed somewhere that does not exist, in my mind, that budget should have been thrown out. And we'll start the discussion over. But it couldn't happen because we are not men enough. We had a meeting which have been plenty from the opposition and other parties. At the end of the day, we were very few that stood up. Why it should be so? Why should the people keep electing us that are not in their interest? Sometimes I get frustrated. Sometimes today I got real frustrated to know that it's not our job to build bridges, but because we have to be corrupt to build bridges, so we have to be corrupt. It's frustrating.
Yes, and Honorable,
very frustrating. I really don't want to come on the show because it's frustrating. I just want to close my mouth until that day reach where Honorable Bwaka, Honorable Kume will carry me to G. Gudo Flomo district to say I can't put Good Day Flomo here. I will stay in the face of LeBron. I said Good Day Flomo is now opposition. The people must never vote for him. I will do it, and I will embarrass the political leaders. So I will have no regret to do it. Because the people are embarrassed the country, and we must not be re-elected. We are embarrassed and stolen and abuse the trust of the Liberian people.
So, Honorable Yeke, so what you're telling us here today, what I want to pick out of your story is that there were certain legislators who objected to this budget being passed, you including one, but yet and still there were others, the majority, who voted for it and allowed a $700 million budget to pass in our country. And you are saying here, those who voted for this budget are not in the best interest of our country. That's what you're saying. And you're asking Liberian people to go and research their legislator and ask questions. Why? What is in this budget here that is for my community or help the upward movement of our country? That's what it sounds like. That's what you're upset about.
Dr. Richardson.
Yes.
Why can we have budget performance report? Why can we do due diligence to the budget for us to understand what is going on, where money going? Like when you look to MCC, every budget year that comes, that one money keep coming for MCC. That one money, and people go there and take it. People go there and take it. Go to the final budget. Go to public work budget. That already like no problem that we the lawmaker. If they put serious, they must vote for us that in their interest. Not us to go sit there, anything that can, yay. There was a time when we passed budget in less than 30 seconds, the budget was gone. We raise that issue again. We raise that issue working on it. People just get to reach all of the Liberian people for no reason. Why should we treat the Liberian people the way we are treating the Liberian people? For what?
I hear you,
blame us. I blame the Liberian people that keep voting for us. That are not serious. I blame the Liberian people. Liberian people wake up. They will wake up. Their budget here. Their country will suffer from their budget will not be needed.
So I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna go on to Minister Fagon, but in discussing your thoughts, Minister Fagon, can you please tell us about this budget performance report? Okay, it's supposed to inform the Liberian people about the budget and where money perhaps are going and how the money are working for the Liberian people. Can you just elaborate on that? And also please ask Minister Honorable Yeke any questions that you have?
The sad part of our current legislature, which includes the House of Representatives, the House of Senate, the sad part is that some of these people don't even know what's in the budget. They don't even take their time to read. Before I go on the budget performance report, okay, I'd rather talk to, I think I see Yeke on the phone. But, James, you got that tape? Play it first.
Yes.
The first one you just cut and send me.
Okay.
James, do you have it?
Is it ready, James?
I think James is in Italy.
James said it's ready. He just gave you a thumbs up sign. He said it's ready.
Yeah, go ahead, play that tape.
It should depend on the budget hearing report and pass the budget. I think we should scrutinize and request these reports to justify what is the drop in revenue and look at where the increases are. But it's a serious problem. It's just a conversation at the budget hearing. We don't see the kind of documents. Even if we request them, we don't see them.
Yeah, for them.
So clearly, you see, she's talking about the budget performance report, And when they request the documents to see how the money was expended with regards to the budget, they don't even see it. What kind of democracy are we running? What kind of... They asked the question. We allocated 70 million for debt. You claim you paid 40 million. To who? Can't find out. But let me ask Brother Yeke Kwaluba before I continue. Brother Kwaluba, there's 6 million during the State of the Nation address that the president talked about he was going to put, that you guys were supposed to put in the budget for the government employees. Did you come across it? Did you see it?
I came across something like that, but I can't get it. I can't remember the actual figure. I came across something like that. But Honorable Minister, you know everything that the campaign said. I mean, the president said was a campaign message. So everything he's doing now is for him to be re-elected. So you want to control everything and put it in a packet to say the president is doing this. Say the Lebron doing this. The government is doing this. Don't say the president is doing this. That's the issue that I have with the president of this country. You can use the Lebron resources and claim it to yourself. It's not possible.
Okay. Before you come in, I sent James the second tape. It's very short.
Yes.
I know he's trying to get it up. But, you know, I'll have to say this. It's election year. The small one you saw, I know you say, Fago, you can say it funny, but 11 million are the small one you saw. I'm trying to get a hold of the budget to be able to go through line by line.
Yes, we'll have a show on that.
Yes, but I can tell you this much. It's elections year. What you will see in that budget will not be applicable to anything resourceful. It's to say, Dr. Francine, you're the minister of this. How they can hold it here. We sending you this. We expect that to come back. They will tell you. And that's the way they operate. You know you don't need this much money, but they will tell you they're putting it there. And then they will pop behind the money and go collect it. I saw that happen. When you saw the agriculture minister and her whole crew indicted, lots of money came out of that ministry. And if there was an audit team from the United States of America to go down to Monrovia and subject the agriculture ministry to audit, a lot of our officials will be in handcuffs. But again, that's how they operate. And so what you saw from the academy today was the fact that they saw a lot in the budget, and it was like, oh, but who get it wrong? And I think what hurt Yeke, I'm going to be straightforward with him, all your men are getting all kind of things. But because you are in opposition and they don't want you re-elected, so they will not give you $500 or $1 million budget for District 10. They will not give you that because they know you will use it to get yourself re-elected too. It will make you famous. So that's what you saw today. It's unfortunate. Yeah. It's not democratic.
It's so unfortunate. You know, I want to add that the clip that you just showed, Senator Yumbley made an excellent point. She said in the the budget performance report, we need to know when you guys decrease the allotment to a certain agency, we need to know why. Does that mean when we decrease money to an agency, that means that the agency must be doing well? They don't need the kind of money that we're giving them. So if that's the case, please tell us, okay? Then if you increase the money to a certain agency, then you need to tell us too. This agency is struggling. They don't have X, Y, Z. So we need to support them financially. But nobody can discuss that. Nobody can tell us, you just can't give us increase, decrease your budget, and you want us to say it. So I think she made an excellent point in talking about the budget performance report today. And it's so sad. And I don't know, maybe Honorable Yeke can chime into this information here. It is so sad that when you guys ask for documents to inform you guys about the budget, what they're doing, you say they don't even give that to you guys. So are you saying, Honorable Yeke, that you got no way to bring the executive branch, put their feet to fire because they can't bring them? I mean, you can call them, right? Can you guys not charge them with contempt or until they bring the reports to you guys?
at the regency, let me be very, very frank with the Liberian people.
Mhm.
This 54th, can't do it. Don't waste your time. This 54th, we do not have the ability to do it at all. I'm saying we do not have the ability to do it at all. We're not able to say for one minister, then we'll be able to criticize the budget. Or no Bob Chima will be able to do anything. No, the Lebron just need to hold their heart and maybe our time finish. When better people come, then we'll do better things. But until then, don't waste your time, that Regency. And I listen to my brother Facon, the minister, honorable minister, all due respect to you. I do not need money in district number 10 the wrong campaign. I will be one of the lawmakers. I will not use $5 for campaign and I will be re-elected.
No, I think you misunderstanding me. You misunderstand. What I'm saying is that in their mind, if we get Yeke, allocate money for Yeke to build toilet, then people will be happy that Yeke built toilet or he faced the road and they will vote for him. So we deny him what is rightfully supposed to go to a community because it will be under his administration that is happy. So you don't get nothing. So he can look back.
That's true. All land ministry agency budget have been increased. Can you imagine? All land ministry agency budget have been increased. For what? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Lebron will get a long time to suffer.
So, Yeke, you are saying that the only solution to this problem that we have in Liberia is for Liberians to then look at the legislators and see the ones that are working in the best interest of Liberian people, because according to you, you feel like if they went ahead and passed this budget, which is really, without doing the due diligence, which is to scrutinize the budget. So that means they're not really working in the best interest of our people.
I'm saying I'm a part of it. When the House passed the budget, we all pass it. So I'm a part of it. So if the Lebron problem that House, the House of Representatives, mainly is the Lebron problem. The Senate government show people that can discuss and they can reach to something. But our own, the put bring it today, it will pass in 30 seconds. The reason why the budget took long time to pass was because we were obstructing the process. And we obstructed the process for our colleagues to join us. But no way.
Yeah.
Everybody had a meeting with us before the budget hearing. We went to the speaker office. We sat down there. And the player will get a shock or eight. Yeah? And I'm getting information that the medal still will be coming before us. Just watch the process again, see. Just watch it should be coming either this week or next week. That's the information I'm getting from my sources. Just watch the process again, see. When it comes, we'll pass it in 30 seconds.
Okay, James, could you show us that video, please?
Which?
Thank you, Yeke.
Which video?
Didn't Minister Falcon send you a video?
That video is still in process.
Oh, it's still in process. Okay.
Yeah, it's still in process.
So
I Representative Kolba.
Yes, come in, Kute, come in.
Yeah, Representative Kolba, I want to get something straight up. You said there was a meeting for opposition lawmakers and other party lawmakers that is independent lawmakers to join you to not sign the budget. When did you have this meeting? And will you mind? We already there. Why wait for election day or campaign day to come out and tell somebody this, that? Why you can't name some of these people, to name and shame them?
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to respect my colleagues. I can't do that.
When was the meeting?
I can't do that on this platform. I'm not going to do that. But I can safely say that some of us in the opposition have meetings. We have one of the meetings in our colleague's office. From there, one of our colleagues advised that we moved to the speaker's office. We went to the speaker's office. We went in the speaker's small chamber. We met with him. We sat down for almost 1 hour. We talked to him with the understanding that if we don't get redressed, the budget will not pass. And the people that show us that the budget will pass, they got a number to pass the budget. And where the number came from the opposition and the CDC.
You guys were how many opposition lawmakers who went for this meeting?
We were somewhere around like 7 to 8.
How many opposition lawmakers are in the House?
Well, by number, we are plenty there. I can't state the number right now. By number, we are plenty there. But by actuality, we are not oppositions.
So, any more questions, Kude?
Yeah, just to conclude, today I saw you going above the standard. Why you were so angry? What's the lawmaker name? If I got you call his name. You are muted.
Representative Kwewu was the deputy, the acting deputy to the.
No, not the lawmaker who you were like telling he and the speaker you used the word on them. Why you got so angry with him?
Blame you from Maryland.
Yeah, blame you. Why you got so angry with him today?
I did it out of frustration. I got too frustrated today. So everything I was saying was out of frustration.
Okay.
So, I'm looking at an article that was published by, a newspaper, Daily Observer in Liberia, and they were saying that, and again, this speaks to the point that Senator Yumli Kanga was making, that so the budget actually is down by 29 million. And the previous budget that we had was 806 roughly million. Now the budget that we have now is $777 million. Now, if the budget went down, does that mean that some of the agencies were eliminated because they were doing well, or because money was passed on to them, falsely, or because they didn't need to have the kind of money that was allotted to them, or we're not getting enough revenue to have a budget of 806 million? So is that why the money went down to 777 million? Minister Yeke, do you know anything about that? Why did the budget decrease?
Look, the budget that came was below that. You're talking about the past budget, right?
Yeah, the past budget was
okay. The draft budget that came for us was below what you just stated, but it was increased when the budget hearing was going on. Check the draft budget.
Okay.
Yeah, check it out.
Okay. So now, what is
when the budget hearing was going on? That when those are some of the places you saw where the representative from Bunker, they said the clinic does not exist, but money was allocated for the clinic. So that money was placed in my mind, and it was acknowledged by the representative that money was placed to the area for people to go for it. I got no regret for what I say.
Wow. James Good, is the tape still loading that Minister Fagon wanted to speak to? Okay, Minister Fagon, do you want to?
I just like the way James Kude can do a hand. Holy. Holy. When you open a palm like this, but you can, and that's why I wanted Kude to play that tape with Dillon. It will give you an appreciation of what is happening there. And this whole thing about the budget, we've seen it play out before. It's election year. If these people don't get any money during this year, they'll never get it again. So if $10 was supposed to go to Ministry of Information, they'll make sure they send $50 there, and the minister is supposed to do something with $30 out of the $50. He must do something that will play back into the campaign. It's just what it is. You cannot beat them to the game. And it's unfortunate because the reason why I want to see the budget, he talked about a clinic that does not exist. For example, look at that road. 6 years they've been on that road, but they cannot tell us how much money was spent on that ELWA to Red Light Road. Snow trying to run behind the very people because he's chairman on Public Works.
We'll talk about that next, Mr. Fagon.
I know. What I'm saying is this. I'm tying that into the budget performance report. If you had given 10 million for the road, right? And 10 million was supposed to finish the road, right?
Yes.
And over the last 3 years, you have given 4 million, 5 million, and maybe another 2 million. Come on now. And the road not finished. And this year you put in some more there. That's why I'm trying to tie it to the road. Because they will put the money in. For example, East International, 33 million for the road. They want to get the people 9 million. What the other money? Don't forget the budget is a law. When it's passed, it's passed. They will say it's a projection. But then we have to balance revenue with expenditure. So how much money you collected and how much money you spend?
Correct.
How much money came from outside?
Correct.
It's just, you don't need to go to school to learn that. But look at what is happening. Nobody can tell us anything. Nobody. And I wish James Goodell could play that one with the DeLong situation. I got one that Yaka was talking about, the 25,000. But what they call the lady name? The lady from Bunkande, is that her on that I'm saying the video of?
Briggs?
Yeah, Mama Briggs, I think that's her. James Goodell play on one of the videos. My little brother in Italy. And I think the Liberian people, you see, the thing about this government is that they don't tell you anything. And then when you go to talk about it, they say, oh, why y'all talking about it? Why are you guys talking about it? Yeah, go ahead. Whenever you come on with
concern, especially as a body, the Ways and Means Committee is represented by 50 members of the House. And every county has a representation. I believe when the budget comes on the floor and it's being read, not everything always captured. I've been one person that always been seeing that those representation on the budget should kindly come to their members and call all in the as chair of the caucus. It's important that we know, wow, those things, how am I going to go tell the citizen what I voted for? Because I may say, yes, I saw this line there and maybe it was increased or it was being reduced. So it's important that I know, but that has not been happening. And I think plenary didn't see it necessary, but I think it's important for everyone else to push it going forward. Then we
prior to the budget hearing, as caucus chair, did you in any way in one of your meetings bring down to the attention of your colleagues so that perhaps they will have taken step, specifically Mavinco will have taken step to ensure that it doesn't work?
Sure, the last budget year we put 900,000 in the budget for Bond Technical College, and to what I know, some of those money, a little amount was being paid. So this budget year we need to know what happening for them and how is it going to be transferred with the one that was being paid, and where are we? And even it comes to Kari, we've been having staff.
Wow. So
and the part where she talk, the part where she talk about the hospital that is coming up in Achieve.
Okay, thank you, James. Yes. So
you see, I don't cut you off. So you see what she said. 900,000. Remember, we're talking about from this Africa article you brought and how they had not done anything with technical college, the marketplace, the street light. 900,000 for the technical college. What happened to the money? And it was passed. This government don't want us to talk about things, but they don't tell us anything either. And that's the sad part. You're muted.
Yes, thank you. But I'm hearing Yeke tell us that the only way that we can bring the legislature, the House of Representatives to work for the Liberian people is to vote them out. Is that what you're saying, Yeke?
Yes, because the Lebronpo problem start with we the lawmaker, the authority we get. All financial instruments start with the House of Representatives. The budget come before us, we appropriate, we look at the budget and appropriate, we decide where money go. Have that money, all the money we have allocated, have it impacted the left of the Liberian people? I said no. What it have impacted is we have impacted ourselves We have enriched ourselves. So the Liberian people suffer. So the Liberian people suffer. You think everything that in our budget, we don't know what happened there? We know why we put it there, and we know when we will go for it.
So my second question, maybe you can also chime into this too, Honorable Falcon, but I also want to hear, and good day. So the budget again originated in the executive branch.
The draft budget.
Yes, the draft budget, and you guys you make the law to actually pass it for it to be approved and implemented by the executive branch. So the draft budget came out of the executive branch. Yeah, are you saying if we had an executive branch that perhaps could be working for the interests of Liberia as well, they won't be passing a budget where we don't know where money going to, and all of those things that you guys have to scrutinize the budget even more. The budget that you got from this executive branch, is it in the interest of Liberian people as well? No.
Look, that is why we go there to represent the Liberian people. Everybody cannot go in the House of Parliament. That's why we were elected to represent the Liberian people. The executive branch of government, those people, they are so crooks. All they want is what they can get. How they can please Ambassador Weah when the money comes to the agency, how much it will take to him, how much he will send for. They just use the money of budget. Money being placed in MCC budget. They went over the money that was allocated for them. Who gave them the authority to do that? Have we getting any budget performance report? Yeah? So we as lawmakers, that when we come in to tell the executive, no, we put the money here before, what did you do with it? Come and answer to us. What did you do with this money? Both what we gave you. Who gave you the authority to do that? Can we do it? No. You see why I say if the Liberian people serious, they will vote for serious people.
So, Honorable Falcon, I need you to answer this question. The draft budget originates in the executive branch. We are coming to October 10th, and we're going to need a leader who's going to not be able to, who will not send a budget as we see it to the legislature that got ghost names and ghost places and ghost agencies on there. So the legislature, when you send a budget that has ghost information on it, you are not working in the interest of Liberian people. There's another underlying agenda. What would you say to that? What would you tell the Liberian people in terms of their need to vote for someone who's will be in the interest of them, in terms of how they put a budget together for the Liberian people, a draft budget together for the Liberian people?
I don't think I want to tell them who to vote for now, because I will definitely. But I want James Goodhead to play the one he just sent me about the clinic that you can't talk about. So
okay.
You can hear where your own ear what can really happen with this budget thing. I mean, it's sickening. Goodhead, ready?
Good day. Also, please check the background.
Your salary have been restored because you've been having problem with your salary, and even the pronouncement that was made by the president that $6 million was going to be placed in the budget. We need to know if those things are being done, and so it have to be explained in details to the budget representation. Then you know when I did the unreadiness, and normally you are only recognized to do unreadiness one time. So afterwards, I remember these issues of Bonrai Health Center that we've been having in our county. And then I went to Honorable Kwale. I told you I've done speaking, but it's important that you raise the issues. Let's look at it. So which he did. And I can tell you, Bonrai is in my district electorally. The people of Bonrai vote for me. And administratively, it's in Honorable Edward Kafia district. So for the past budget year, money being placed there for Bonrai Health Center that I've checked that does not exist. So before I was only the representative, I would say I would speak about it from an angle of being the representative electorally, but administratively, maybe the representative they have an answer. But now that I've become the caucus chair, everything that affects Bon County affects me. I should be able to speak to it. We're not doing our work because of friendship. We're doing it to speak for the people. So it came to my attention and I raised the issue. So why is it that the budget year we've been sending money there? And
wow. Wow. You heard her.
So you see what I'm saying. A clinic that does not exist, you're putting monies in the budget year after year. Who eats that money? Who gets the money? And this lady is very careful and measured when she says, anything that affects Bond County affects me. So she is saying, my people need the clinic. But you're eating the money for the clinic, but you just got the clinic need there for their sake. And one thing this government is good at, they will wait until the 11th hour to bring the budget. Because they know if they bring the budget early, the budget will be subjected to scrutiny. And people like us will be going through the budget line by line. And so what they do is that they bring it under the cover of darkness, they discuss it, the envelopes go around, people pick up the envelope, and they sign. And what hurts me the most is, like, I always go back to the right situation. You go ask them, they will say, I think that was 11 million. The government get 11 million. You didn't know. It was in the budget. How can you, a lawmaker, not know? Then you get up from here, you say you went to the poor office to find out what other people got paid. That's not your job. And it happened right on this platform. You are supposed to get a budget performance report. And it's supposed to tell you, Article 34D2 tells you, government money is government money. And the government is expected to account for it. But again, it's election year. And they will do all these things. And nobody will do anything about it. And that's why I think, I don't know if the political leaders of the Unity Party, the Liberty Party, the ANC specifically, I gotta say it one more time, specifically.
I'm not hearing you.
I know.
Why are you emphasizing on the
Yes,
ANC?
let it go, please, I beg you.
Because look at the way you kept fighting. You got Daniel Yaten there. So their leaders are supposed to meet. And they're supposed to call their partisans and representatives or senators that are in the legislature and say, this is what we see in the budget. What are you guys going to do? In developed countries, example, the United States, the Republican will look at the budget and they will tackle the budget from a Republican aspect or from a Republican standpoint, which is conservatism. And the liberals, which happens to be the Democrats, will look at the budget from an expenditure standpoint where it will be for the broader public and so forth. So that's why you see me signaling out. But again, this budget will form the basis for the Liberian people to fire them.
Thank you.
That's all I can say.
And
yes, go ahead, Good Day. And then I'll go on. I want to welcome.
So, Good Day. Good Day.
Yeah.
I listened to the minister. The minister said something good.
Yeah,
It's because we do not get budget performance report. That the reason why we go to ministry and agency. And in my mind, it's harassment. We lawmakers going to those agencies, we are harassing the people. Our job is to call those people to come report to us. But because we don't have the ability to do it, and because we can't do it, so in my mind, going to those agencies, that's harassment. We go there to harass those people.
Yes. Good Day. You want to come in? And before you come in, Good Day, I just want to welcome Colonel Gray, Remy Gray. He just came on the show after a busy work day. We appreciate you being here and thank you. So Good Day, speak, and then I have a question for Colonel Remy Gray to get him engaged in this conversation.
All right. And this is just to tell you that hospitals or clinics in Lofa, in Maryland, in Bapolu, there are many names in that budget we may not know. And I think the lawmakers from those districts and senators from those counties, one way or the other, they are cooperating with the executive to do these things. Because I cannot be a lawmaker of Zaza district for Eastern, where I'm from, and I will not know the health centers, or I will not know government's project, or whatever within my district that I will not know. So if this lawmaker can just point out this, again, I want to ask, I don't know why the journalists did not answer that question. Why now? Is it this year that she identified that this hospital does not exist, that she had to come out? And I think this is another way that people who will get elected to the House, they need to take their time to read the budget. I was at the Senate. I reported on the Senate. These things can be presented to them. They give them the draft budget. I think they should take their time. If it would take you like 3 days, 4 days, or 1 week to read the entire budget, read the budget page by page. Like that, you will know what's happening. If something is, not correct or not really okay, you can figure that out. And even if your colleagues will not work with you, right? You will have the chance to inform us, the Liberian people, instead of them just going there and depending on the debate. That is why they have research officers. These people are being paid by Liberian people tax. They should be able to do their job. Let them sit and read these documents. I don't know. Yeke, you guys are not reading these documents, and it is creating serious embarrassment for us. At the end of the day, we give money to places that we should not be spending. And what happened? We spend lots of free money and we have no result. It was because of reading. It was because of reading that the lawmaker identified. Yes, sir.
Mr. Goode, let me tell you
Yes, sir.
something. We know that it don't exist. We put it there to go for it.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yes. I got no regret for saying what I'm saying. The poor punk and they know that they do not exist. And the people on the budget committee know that it don't exist. We put it there to go for it. I got no regret for my statement, and I will not take it back.
Okay. So if you're just joining us, Liberians, this is your station. This is where we are discussing issues that are relevant and important to Liberians. We have this budget situation that is so unsettling to me. That's hearing it. And we have Honorable Yeke here, who's just was very passionate, and you could feel it in his energy today when he was on the House floor discussing his dislike. I'd like to also just welcome again Colonel Remy Gray, who's been a panelist here, contributing his thoughts about Liberia. Colonel Gray, I asked Honorable Fagon and Good Day the same question. We have a leader, President Weah, who puts together with his team, I'm sure the Minister of Finance, a draft budget. And in this draft budget, we are hearing people like Representative Briggs saying that there's clinics that exist. There's money that was supposed to be allotted to the Bond County Community College. They don't know what happened to it, if all of the money was used. We hear Senator Yumpley, who says that there's been some increase in certain areas and the decrease in certain areas. They don't have no justification why that happened. But yet and still, we see that this budget is being originated, a draft budget, in the executive branch, and then passed on to the legislators to pass it. And it was passed today in the House of Representatives. My question to you is, Liberians, you can say we can solve this problem by voting the legislators, the House of Representatives, voting them wisely. One of these people that are watching say we need to know the names, and I hope somebody who can gather the names of all of those who voted for it and against it. I wish you can find it. But Colonel Gray, this problem, if we had a president who will not create a budget where things would be allotted in a ghost fashion, that would greatly help our Liberian people. What are your thoughts about that? And what kind of president do you think can lead our people in such a manner? Thank you.
Dr. Chenoweth and Honorable Yeka Koliver, good day, and Honorable Eugene Fangon and Mr. Good day. Thank you so much. And here in Minnesota, we're expecting a wave of storm, I believe 48 inches of snow, but we're used to it. We've been in it. Yeah, 2 feet.
Oh, wow. Thank you for
more than 2 feet. In fact, they're saying 4. So,
wow.
This is why people are not seeing the wisdom in why certain individuals say they will make the most impact on the Liberian people by becoming president, as opposed to going in that circus, in the circusry called the House of Representatives or the House of Senate, where your minority vote may not matter anyway. There is something called tyranny of the minority. That's the crimson definition of democracy. When you think that your voice matters in a specific way, it doesn't really matter, because if the majority are bent on duping the Liberian people or the populace in general, your vote will be meaningless. So you just be part of the noisy minority. And this is why Cummings said, I can't go to in that kind of corridor, because some certain people will not function well. And now you see the wisdom why he says, I'll make the most impact if I'm the president, because the budget evolves from the executive branch. And if you have a sincere executive leadership, it means our country will go forward where it's supposed to go. All of this hidden treasure, cutthroat, sweet deal, darling deals will not go ahead, because the like of Honorable Yeke Coliver, who has been raising this clarion call all along, that there are items in the budget that are specifically placed there for campaign purposes. You understand? His voice will be meaningless, as we saw by that circusry that went on today with including Honorable Coliver himself, and of course the Honorable Swakoko Dennis and others. Kudos to them, but it means their minority voices mean nothing. Imagine if you put a functional person in that kind of corridor, they'll come out crazy, stone crazy. Sometimes I even feel for Yeke. I feel that they're driving him to the extent where he's losing his humanity. And this is the primary reason why we say vote somebody, number one, who has the country at heart, and number two, who may not be driven by the smaller, sweetheart deals and so on and so forth. In international law, there is something referred to as pacta sunt servanda, and then there's also something that say clausula rebus sic stantibus. In other words, it's simply saying that agreement must be withheld, sustained, and adhered to. This president has gone cleverly into entering into different agreements with some of these lawmakers, and they will skiffle budget money into some of these people accounts, meaning their oversight responsibility. At the end of the day, they will go back in the back end and collect it. This is an old practice. Only a sincere and a very righteous president can unearth that, because you know what? Anybody without that record of accountability will go in this corridor, will just join the lot. And I'll always say, you may dislike Cummings, but because he has a history of playing with billions of dollars and not a single cent was alleged to have been taken wrongly by him, these are the kind of people you want. It's hard to find a very credible Liberian. I hate to say this on an international wire, but it's very difficult, because there are very, very few Liberians who are really, really sincere that when you place them in that kind of corridor, they won't join the lot. And very few of them. And that's the needle in the haystack that we're still searching for. That's why we're not driven by certain politicians when they talk about people have experience in governmental operation, because we know what that experience measures though. It is simply you're telling me he does not know how to steal, or he does not understand how to will and deal, so that he can come out, others can come out in a gangway rich. That's simply what they're saying, because if it is about governance and leadership, there is no way you can put in front of an HR manager the resume of Cummings, the resume of whoever, and then that HR will seek to ignore Cummings with a proven record and choose the other side. I'm not saying it in any diabolical way to diminish anybody, but it's just the brutal truth. And once you continue to vote those same people in the quarter and you expect different result, you are going stone crazy, my friend, because the result will never change.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Colonel Gray. I think I'm hearing you say in short words the difference between leadership and experience. That was mentioned here before on Spoon Talk. When you have experience, you've been in a position for a long time. You might not know a lot of you just know routine things. But when you have leadership, you can know and ask questions like what some of the ladies that I seen, the representatives saying, why are budget allocation going up and down? That's what leadership calls for, someone to ask us that question. Okay. So yeah. So I think that's what I'm getting out of what you're saying.
And in due course, I will address that issue about the fluctuation of the budget. It's just that issue some level of lack of sophistication, because I think people are trying to make the case that indeed you can raise the revenue, the budget to $1 billion. But in essence, they don't have the capacity to raise our budget to that level yet. But they're trying to outperform Cummins Word. You understand, for instance, if you came up with an 806
yes, that was last year.
million dollar budget the last budget fiscal year, and then you had so much shortfalls. Nothing went through. I think in essence that budget was between 5 and 600 million. So all those items that you highlighted that they were going to be budgetary sources of sustaining the budget, it was and we're going to go back to the same result. These are all the kinds of individuals in our quarter that do not even have the slightest clue of how to run government. You squeeze in those kinds of square pegs in round holes and expecting that they will perform because they are blabbish. They talk as if they know it. But listen to the details. The devil is there.
Okay.
Let people.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Thank you very much. We're going to come back. For Liberians, I just want you to know two things. The budget, you can go to the website. I went to a website. I was able to find it. I believe it's the Ministry of Finance budget. You can find it and go through it yourself. We're going to come back with someone who's more knowledgeable, mathematically inclined, to be able to go through the budget. And we'll be showing you a slide of different segment of the budget, so you Liberians can know exactly what's happening. I want to just take into consideration what one of our viewers, I believe, is Charles Burton. Charles Burton is asking for the names of those who voted for and voted against this budget to be published, perhaps in a newspaper, the Front Page Africa. Charles Burton suggested that they can get a few Liberians to even pay for the publication. So I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there to you, Charles Burton. That was your suggestion here that I read on the feed here. Honorable Yeke, I wanted to know if you have any last words before you leave. It's 5:24. I want to be able to go on to seeing the videotape of Sir Joseph and Senator Snow, who is the chairman of the Public Work Committee, and I believe Sir Joseph is chair of the Executive Committee. They did a visit, and so we have the videotape. We want to play that and then have some thoughts about it. This is also in the budget's conversation. I want to laugh. This is also in the budget conversation. And then lastly, hopefully, if we have time, I really want us to go again relating to money in Liberia. How is it that Representative Simeon Taylor can accuse Senator Sherman of controlling Cape Mount County Fund? I believe in an article he said that the money goes to a fund that is controlled by Senator Sherman. How is that mechanism? How does that work in our country? How does that promote development in our country? And then we also want to talk about Senator Snow, who's promised Bumi to Weah. But now there was somewhere along the line, he said, oh, if we are promised to pay the $5 million to Bumi, then he definitely will deliver Bumi to Weah. With everything going on in the Western Cluster, he said he can still deliver. So we'll be able to talk about that. Good day. Please play the clip where Sir Joseph and Snow are together. Thank you.
Public Works to your committee and plenary by extension that East International lacks the technical and financial capability to do the role. What is your own impression after visiting the site today, comparing to what the Public Works Minister has recommended?
Well, first thing, let me thank the Chairman and Executive, the Liberian Senate, who joined me today. This tour. This is an unannounced tour. So what we did today, we briefed members of the Public Works Committee and asked the pro-tem so that the Chair and Executive will join me. And we'll do a surprise visit in this room to see exactly what is happening. Yes, the Minister of Public Works here before the Liberian Senate a few months ago and told us that East lacked the financial and technical capacity in this room. East made a submission to us, our committee, that indeed it had both the financial and technical capacity to do this room. So it was East versus the Minister. So we've been patrolling this road. Sometimes we send people to take pictures, video recording as a committee, but then today we decided to come and verify ourselves. What we've seen here today, at least the portion we covered, and the second.
Let me get in it. Let me play the last one.
Please end it. It will be fair to end.
This will be Robertson end. So the portion we've covered, from what we've seen, it seems that it looks impressive. We also have some engineers that the committee contacted to do a study on the road, unannounced study, without consulting the public works engineer, without consulting the contractors. They gave us a report. We have seen the preliminary report, and it sounds conflicting to what we were told by the Minister of Public Works. So we are now, the committee will sit in committee room and we look at the details. For what we are seeing here today, I'm impressed so far with the thickness of the base course. Now the base course of the road is that component of the road after you have compacted the road with ladder rack, the area of ladder rack, that area where you begin to put the crush rack. So the thickness of the base course seems impressive. We'll also now be looking at the thickness of the asphalt. We are now comparing it with the existing road, and what we are seeing so far, or what the scope of work is showing us, is that the base course of the new work is thicker than the previous work, and the asphalt component is going to be thicker and more guaranteed than the previous work. But again, we have seen the base course. We cannot verify the asphalt component. Once we see that, then we'll make a determination. The other thing about this road that we like.
Oh boy. Impressive is the word that Senator Snow used. Impressive, but then he does not know the nature of the asphalt, the quota in that program, called the nature, the substance of the quota that was used, but yet and still he is impressed. Okay, I'm going to ask you, Honorable Yeke, you can also give us your thoughts on what you heard your colleague Snow say, and then your parting words, so we can excuse you. And then we'll have, if you want to, you can stay, but we can excuse you if you have other things to attend to. And then we'll go to Honorable Fagon, then we'll go to James Goodday, and then we'll go to you, Colonel Gray, to tell us your thoughts on the video that you said, and then I'll have my thoughts lastly. Honorable Kaluba, your colleague said he was impressed with the road, what they heard from East International, how well they are doing, conflicts the Public Works Minister. So what are your thoughts on this? You heard him.
Dr. Richardson, is Honorable Snow somebody to be taken seriously? No. Honorable Snow, everywhere they get smarting, Honorable Snow will be there. Everywhere they got smarting, Honorable Snow will be there. Honorable Snow, somebody like Honorable Snow do not have credibility anymore. People do not trust him anymore. So he do these things, putting Ambassador we are under the impression that he can deliver somewhere to him. But he will not deliver anywhere to Ambassador Weah. Those people are in their campaign mood, and that campaign message they carry around. So, you understand? That's why I told the people that behave in their opposition to get serious, to print their banners and their flyers so I can start putting it up. They refuse to do it. We'll be saying that election will be gone at the end of the day. Joseph Waka will not even get ready, and Kumas will not even get ready. These people are campaigning seriously. While we're sitting here, we are not doing anything. These people will be finished printing their banners and putting it to be elected. We're not putting for there, but they're wasting their time. They're trying to find a way. Who want to be they want? Who want to be they want? At the end of the day, both of them will be the loser. Then they be joking with themselves. Why they put campaigning seriously? At the end of the day, Baka will be the loser, Kumes will be the loser, and Ambassador Weah will be the winner because we are not ready yet. And I get very frustrated with this kind of issue. They're supposed to look for money. You want me president to be on money? Bring their banners, give them to me. I will put them up. I will put them up. People campaigning. I open campaign for the opposition. Have people done anything about it? Who did they say that? The other one will get on the radio, and the other person can be, I can't work with the other person. You somebody that won't work with somebody. People are just become an embarrassment to the Liberian people. To be very frank with you, we said here the CDC campaigning seriously. Snow they campaigning seriously for the people. Snow is not a serious person. He passed around. They said that over there. Do they have the authority to waive money? Only the horse can do that. They went there. Can the horse send for the people to ask them why they waive their money? Lebron people are sorry for the country, man. Look, where I am right now from today in our house to now, I'm very frustrated. I think I should leave this platform. Then I will come back tomorrow so we can discuss further. Let my tempo go down small, please. I beg you. So I beg to leave you people.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure having you here. When we call you, you come. Thank you so much for.
I'll be available. Any second you call me, I will come.
Thank you, Honorable Koluba. Thank you so much. Yes. Oh, guys, you heard the video, you saw, and you heard. Honorable Fakon, what are your thoughts from what you saw?
What I saw was Snow using the presence of Sir Joseph to clown. You know, it's like you have, what should I say, Barack Obama standing next to you, and you see his light shining on you, and you say, oh, this is an opportunity for me to shine too, just to show the people I'm working. Well, let's get the facts here. From what we've seen, it looks very impressive. The people started the road without you giving them a dime. When you decided to give them 9.5 million, when you were supposed to give them almost 42 or so million, you only give them 9. It's like you a woman, Dr. Francine. It's like your husband giving you $2 and saying, when I come out, I should see him, bacon, cabbage, knickknacks, with a touch of beans and carbs, corn on the carbs. He didn't even all that to you, but I only $2 he gave you. That's what Snow did to East. But the people continued to work and started asking them for a little bit of money. By right, they're supposed to have given these people 32 million in addition to the 9 million for what they are demanding. For what they are demanding. But guess what? When Snowden knew they couldn't give the people the money, they concocted a plan to say that the people did not have the financial and technical capacity. Listen to that. You were here, you witness. So if the people did not have the financial and technical capacity, how is it today now the road looks impressive? What did you do with between the time of they did not have the technical and financial capacity to now that it is so impressive? He said that the preliminary reports did not look good. So if the preliminary reports did not look good, what has changed? Did the people go back, take out the whole road, start the whole work all over? It's not possible. Lastly, he said, we've gotten a team to inspect the road without the public works, without the company, and then get back to them. It's like auditing, like what we talked about last night. Auditing the project, monitoring the project, and evaluating the project. But how do you do that? If you don't know what's here, you will not be able to, don't say, oh, engineering, no. I first of all have to know that you're supposed to make the quota 4 inches thick. and I'm sure Remy will agree with me. When I know you're supposed to make it 4 inches thick, then I know what to look for. And if I see it 2 inches, I would say you did not meet the requisite stuff. But you say they will not talk to nobody, they will just go there. And when they see goat poo-poo on the road, they will say goat poo-poo on the road. Is that what we're doing? You're clowning. This is a multi-million-dollar project. Now, the Sim Snow is the one demanding that this woman gave him a comprehensive list of payments, right? Yes. So he and Sir Joseph went on the road today. Because he knows Sir Joseph have constructed so many different roads, and could they know what I'm talking about? So he takes Sir Joseph with him now. So like Yaka said, they can look like people in campaign mode. And he can look like the chairman, the Senate chairperson on Public Works. How long have we been paving this road, James? Help the Liberian people. How long have we been working on this road? Since I was there, 2.5 years now, 3. Now today now you coming to tell us that your first monitoring or evaluation or management of the road. And the thing about it, he said, because they're paving from both ends now. So he comes on and tells us, yeah, we haven't gone on the other side yet. We just on this side. I mean, I think these people have outlived their usefulness. And the dullness is beginning to show. And when you tell them, they say, oh, because you're not in government again. No, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be sitting and working with the company, with the Public Works, and then reporting to us, the Liberian people. Not to be sneaking up and doing television broadcasts. Tell us why you weigh 14 million. Tell us why you brought a company that have not hired one Liberian. You're inspecting a road, but you're destroying the road in Bombay. You care about East International, but not Western Cluster. But their days are numbered. And I said to people like Yeke, I don't think you should be frustrated. I think it's just a matter of time. You really don't know the Liberian people. They will act, and they will act decisively at the ballot box.
Yes. Thank you so much for your thoughts, Minister Fagon. I had a question as I was listening to, and I'll move on to Good Day and Grace soon. He said that he was going to, they have contracted engineers who will further look at the report, although they have a preliminary report from the engineers that conflicts the Public Works Minister, who said that East International lacked financial ability and technical ability to do the report. To do the road. Okay. My question is, who are these engineers that they can tell us, at least so we can know who are these people? And he said, oh, they were not related to the government, or they were, more objective. But I want to know, I think that Liberian people deserve to know who are these engineers that are also coming with an open eye to look at the road. Go ahead.
They are the people you call Zobla-Zo.
What is Zobla-Zo?
So you can see the name. It starts with Zo, it ends with Zo. Zobla-Zo.
Nana Kola is speaking.
Nana Kola. Now one of those way back talk, Remy Great Noe. Zobla-Zo, you going so you coming so, you going so you coming so. What Snow is cleverly trying to do is to put East International this way and put the Public Works this way. We know how these things work. You will go on this side, they will take care of him. You will go on this side, they will take care of him. The engineers he's bringing, they will condemn the whole project. They will put the Public Works in trouble. They will put East in trouble. That way he can eat East and then eat Public Works, then come out to the Liberian pool and say, I'm impressed with the level of work done. Then Zobla-Zo then, because they took it from so, then Zobla-Zo then go by and sit down and wait for the next project.
Wow.
Good. You asked me a question, I gave you a fair and honest answer.
Zobla-Zo.
So let me ask you this, you don't have to answer it, but just to make you think. If you contract engineers, right? Who paying the engineers? That your committee? That it coming from your pocket? What the money that was budgeted to pay the engineers? Where the money coming from? That just gonna assess guys them who say they went to school in Kumasi or Accra. You not go bring them. They were that kind. Yo, the lateral is supposed to be 2.8 to the 8.9 power. Yeah, it's shifted, and the earth moving equipment has domiciled it. When they finish talking, they say, what's the leeway y'all coming in front of the committee? Then you're gonna be chief, we beg you. You ain't said no one to put them talking, but the idea you have to submit, that's Snowden. They call the engineers and zo blah zo. They so and they zo. They're right in the middle, it will cut.
Thank you. So plazo, according to Minister Fagon here. Okay, your thoughts here, your concerns here, and then we'll go to Remy Gray. It is 5.
Yeah,
we don't have that much time here, please.
Yeah, I listened to Senator Snowe, and these are some of the problems why Liberia will not progress tomorrow or very soon, because James will go and stand somewhere and speak like a driver when James knows nothing about driving. Senator Snow's opening statement, he said he's impressed with the work. In fact, what the Public Works Ministry reported or what they told them is contrary to what he saw. Correct. Right there, he condemned the government. Professional people who we saw and appointed to lead the public works department of our country, Senator Snowe already said they know nothing. They should not be to where they are. They did not observe. They came out and told the Liberian people that this company has no capacity or technical know-how to do the work. So the public works minister and her team, they are novice to what's going on. Right there, Senator Snowe condemned the entire public works ministry. And they were standing there laughing and clapping. You know, I was like, the guy is insulting you and you are standing there. So Senator Snowe already told us that they know nothing about what's going on. And that alone can lead Liberia to pay East International their remaining money, or even if the government says no. Senator Snowe is the head of public works, the chair on public works in the Senate. So if he's coming out to say that, it means that he has done all of the due diligence around and he gathered the necessary information. That is why he came out to say the public work report is contrary to what he saw. So I think Senator Snowe did not do well, and he condemned our ministry. Our ministry knows nothing. And again, he said he bringing people came. Their report is different. You know, his entire conversation was not organized. It's like they just woke up and said, Senator Joseph, can we go and walk around? Just walking around, and the press bumped into them. They started questioning them, so he had nothing to say. If you listen to Snowe, his entire conversation was not organized, condemning, confusing himself, putting this, so putting that, and he's not an engineer. Why should he say, I saw this? That is just smell you see or whatever. You cannot determine the lifespan of what you saw. You cannot determine it. So I don't know. We are in a big trouble if we have these people leading us.
Thank you. Connor Gray, your thoughts, and then we're going to take at least 2 or 3 calls because it is the Liberian People Station. They have to be involved in this conversation. This is why we come here to speak. Connor Gray, your thoughts. It's 5:44. We can't hear you, Connor Gray. We hear you. Please unmute yourself.
You are muted.
I was saying I wholeheartedly support what Gude just said. I think our lawmakers, especially those with oversight authority, I think they are misrepresenting the intent of those functionaries in government. It is not a senator's role to go inspect any project. Those projects are coordinated in accordance or concomitantly with the agencies involved, like the public works. Now, they have the requisite
personal English down there. I can come in people talking our people listening to the show, Liberian
All
people.
right. All right. This project, they are supervised and monitored by all the agencies that are represented in government, and that's the same agency representation that is he's denigrating right now, that the public work ministry that is supposed to be over, having oversight responsibility to oversee some of this. Matter of fact, they're supposed to spearhead those construction. I see a lot of substandard view just by looking from afar. We know definitely here in the states where I live, if they have a 3-year project for a road, all of those things, in fact, they exist on television. When I say television, you go and see project by project. It's not as it's difficult to do. It's just part of the agreement that when you are spearheading these kinds of initiatives, you have to be transparent so that people know exactly what's going on. Now, if everything remains in the sandy bush, as my brother calls it, zoblazo, and definitely, I'm not a member of the Sunday Bush. I won't know what's going on in there. Anybody who comes out of there and say this is what goes on in there, I'll tend to believe them. Now, Liberia has found itself into a place where you have folks who are just taking power to themselves. And I see, light poles standing up, a lot of wires littering all over the place. When I look at those construction going on in neighboring Guinea, gone are the days when you have light poles littered with all kinds of wire. This is why power theft is so prevalent in Liberia. And a man goes there and say, "Oh, I think the road is coming up." Firstly, do you even know how to reinforce? Forget about the asphalt. Before they even put the asphalt, there are so many reinforcements they put down there. Here, I'll see they'll build a complete structure like they're building a house before they even cast those outfit over it. And then they go concomitantly or hand in hand with the infrastructure that include light pole, all the other amenities are supposed to accompany that road. And a man who is, permit me to say, he has absolutely no idea, is a novice when it comes to
30 seconds, Mr. Gray.
It's a novice when it comes to this kinds of initiative, rendering judgment on, because group of individuals came from somewhere who are paid agent to dismiss those kinds of work so that he can look like he's doing his work. That's not even his role to go out there to go inspect. Why is he going to go inspect what? As though that's his project. He's just an overseer of public works. That's not his duty. We give these people so much authority to the extent where they think they are taking them onto themselves obligations that are not theirs. And I think we have to stand up. Civil society are the ones that continue to say that will bring these people down so that our people will be fully aware of what they're doing, that they're just there to enrich themselves.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Gray. We're gonna move to the phone line to get at least 3 calls, and then that will take us to 5:55. We're gonna run a little bit just over. I beg your indulgent audience, and because we need to hear from the Liberian people. So Nelson, could you please come on? Let's take at least 3 calls, and then we'll return to do our closing comments. Nelson? Oh, okay. Let me just see.
Okay. So if you're just joining again, we love to welcome you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead, James. I know I'm reading something here. You just sent me some.
Okay. So if you're just joining us, we love to welcome you. I guess you're following the conversation. So we are nearing a time to, say goodbye.
Okay. Yes. Yes, I got it. So we're gonna go on to our closing comments. Because of the time factor that is involved in here, we won't be able to gather the phone calls. So we have what we call, what I would like to say about this I'll wait and hold my thoughts. Basically, I'm sorry, I was reading something. And so I'll begin with you, Fakon. Give us your closing thoughts. It is 5:50. I just heard the guys didn't come because I know I like time, so they are afraid of being out of the time. So go ahead, Fakon.
See, I see why they burn like with it too much. You want to be Liberian and you don't want to be Liberian. When it says 6 o'clock, we're supposed to go to 6:05 or 6:08. But 6 o'clock, you ready to try everything and go. You won't be Liberian, you gotta be Liberian. If we reach the exact time without the next day, I like who they.
That was Nancy texting me in the background. Nancy text me said that you trying to rush my job. You rushing my job, so I will be prepared next week. Yeah, you don't want y'all making me go all the time. So go ahead.
Don't worry. I don't want to moderate tomorrow.
Yes.
We're past 6 o'clock because I know that Brentport, if we get on time with that, but we're trying to be on time. Dr. Francine is pushing us. And let me remind, in my closing, people that I spoke with the CEO today. We had a very good discussion. And I believe this network is a credible network. And because of the legality of his case and his connection to this network, let me make people understand. When you hear people say, I can't speak about the case because it's in the court, this is his network too. Now, the point I'm trying to make to you, you don't want people to say his network was used to do this, his network said this, or his network said this. So we try to keep it with the law. But I spoke with him today. There is something relative to Liberia. And that is 4 former panelists gave information to the Liberian people. And as a network, we need to balance that information. So I need you to talk to your legal team, especially your wife, whom I have great respect for, a sweet potato green out there, even though you say you are keeping some for her, know your uncle. I never knew it to her uncle, but a small one, bro, we ate it. You know, yeah, the man say, I went to her one time in my life, but the potato green. I said, yeah. Then the man said, well, what would I want? What I said, no, I want to give to my uncle. Well, I never hear you. But anyway, to continue, I said to him, they made serious statements that the Liberian people need to know. And I gave him an example. They said, oh, you started off good with them, you are giving them $400 every 2 weeks or something like that. I said, you need to come and speak to it. I said, they said, you were this, you were that, the other. Yeah, so these are some serious stuff now. And we know some other serious things. So we will probably need to ask you, you need to come up and address yourself to these issues. He has shown me that he will talk to his wife. He will talk to his legal team. It has got nothing to do with the case. It has something to do with the picture they painted of him and his response to them going on a media spree. And that is to include Focus on Liberia, the Costa Show, Jida Hot Talk, Freedom FM. I said, and so they did a good job running with the media. You have to come and answer here. Again, I want to close by saying that tomorrow we'll continue with this budget thing. We'll have the videos all set up and we'll bring it to you, the Liberian people. As far as today is concerned, I'll be digging deeper into Udubusi Wambo Dike, the man who held all the jobs in Liberia and was not a Liberian citizen. And then on February 9, a judge knowing all the fraudulent acts that took place made him a citizen on February 9, 2023. So I'm just closing by inviting all of you. We'll try to get some very good guests out here tomorrow. I'll do my best to bring at least 2 or 3 persons on tomorrow so that we can fight. If anybody tell me no, you'll feel my pain. Thank you for having me.
Yes, Colonel Gray, your thoughts, and then we're going to good day that I'll close.
I just wanted to urge people to say that when you X people out of any system when you fire them, so to speak, you also invite that individual to open a can of worms. Meaning, if you're going to think that you fire someone like Fangon and you expect them to be your fan, that's the entire idea behind the Whistleblower Act. Now I've been to court so many times on behalf of my organization to represent them because of some employee that were disenchanted, that were let go, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But I think people should begin to get used to Fangon being the way he is right now. He's not going to be a fan anymore, in my opinion. And then also, I'm a fan of the armed forces of Liberia. I think we have one of the best.
He looking for partner now. You see?
No. No, but brother, I think you're taking they're beating you too much for leaving. They feel that they should let you go, or you should leave the system and still be talking on behalf of the system. That's not your role anymore. Your role have changed until they come to their senses that Fango is no longer on the rooting for their team. I think it would be better for some people to go to bed peacefully at night. But I was just saying that the armed forces of Liberia has one of the best engineering teams. When they and it could be cost effective to use those tools. Some of the most when I was in the army, most of our engineering folks were trained by the United States. Some of the best engineering battalion forces here in the United States. Those guys have that expertise. They're sitting down there playing checker maybe in peacetime. And I think they should bring them out instead of going to Ghana to go get a group of engineers that will come and, we are not being patriotic at all. I hate to hear team coming from offshore to come supervise our situation when our neighbors are not doing that to us. We have a school of Liberian expert in the AFL engineering battalion that you can invite to build some of the best infrastructure in our country. Yet we're ignoring them and going next door to go look for people. That's my own take on this for now. Tomorrow, and also we'll be having probably other panelists that will be coming in our absence. But I'll leave that with you, Madam Francine.
Actually, you can announce that, Reverend Gray, because
yeah.
you will not be right?
When I'm gone, sometimes Al Hussein Fadiga would be here, and
Yes.
I want to bring that to light because we have to begin to get used to other people's perspective. That is the only way we'll perfect our democracy. Everybody comes with their set of perspective. If you just want to get used to one guy singing, how many of us can listen to one song 5 years in a row? It's going to be hard. Some don't though. Some old school songs are really beautiful, but how long you keep playing this one song? So it's good to hear from different perspectives. So I think Al Hussein Fadiga might join on the panel as well. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you. Good day. Your thoughts, your closing remarks before we go. I see why Nelson will tell me 5:58 already. Nelson.
Yeah, so no time. Let me just say thank you. And we hope to be here. To all those who following us online and on radio, we love to say salute to you. Yeah. Okay, I think that Richardson is paying attention to something.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was just
I'm done.
Yeah, I am. Thank you very much. So in closing, I just want to tell the Liberian people, thank you for joining us here today. I want to tell all of our viewers, I want to tell the panelists as usual, thank you for joining us, because I know that this is a volunteer position here. We come in, Colonel Remy Gray, when I called him, he was just coming from work. When I talked to Falcon, he's also finishing up his activities for the day. I just come from work. Good day, come from school, got to do his work. And we come here to bring Liberian people in verbal form, because many of our people in Liberia may have challenges getting the newspaper to read. So today we talk about the unfortunate situation of the budget being passed in the legislature, in the House of Representatives. We told you about the disorder that happened, and some people were against passing this budget, and some people was for it, but yes, it passed. Okay. We saw that Senator Yumbley, Representative Briggs, they all argued very passionately about how is it that we can have drop in increases in the budget, but yet and still the budget gets to pass. Was the budget in the interest of the Liberian people? And this is what we come to talk about daily. Okay. The draft budget originated in the House of Representatives, and then it gets to the legislature, and then they won't pass the budget into law. All right. We also, of course, show you a clip with the whole Snow and Sir Joseph saga, okay, fiasco, if you can say. To me, I would appreciate not just using these flowery terms like impressive when it comes to engineering, mechanical stuff that relates to the welfare of Liberians who will be using that road regularly. Me, I want something specific. I want numbers. I wanted to go and measure things, the quality of things, the quality of the quota. Okay. I want them to be very relevant to tell me that this road will last us X amount of time based on the projection of different ways how roads have been built in this country and other countries and the usage. I wanted it to be very time. When are they going to finish? We never got the time because the road been going for 3 years, 4 years. When are they going to finish? And we know that the business people are suffering because the road disturbed all the businesses along the ELW highway. I listened to them cry. They said because of the road, the kind of ditch that they put there for you to get to go to the businesses on the side of the road is so high. So some of them shut down, some of them closed their businesses, and they're not making money. So Liberian people will come to you to talk. We want you to make informed decisions. October 10th will be a very big day in our country. This is part of our way of educating you on how to improve our country. This is your radio station. It has been around for the past couple of years. You have conditioned yourself to come here to listen to us. You are beginning, with all of the changes that are happening now. Trust that will present you the right information as we hear it from Liberia. So I want to thank you for being here with us. I will not be here tomorrow. And of course, happily, Minister Fagon said he'll be moderating. I'm sure he'll do an excellent job. Conor Gray will also not be here tomorrow. The Fadiga brother will be here. One of them will be here. And our other panelists who are on the calendar.
I hope that only one though, because two of them look alike. Will be going inside, coming out, going inside, coming out. Yeah, hold on.
Dr. Richardson, I'll be here tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow. I'll not be
Even
here
if you
Thursday.
bring one of them,
I'll not be around Thursday.
We gotta mark them. We gotta mark one of them.
Reverend Gray is saying that he will be here so that tomorrow he'll be here.
Yeah, we gotta know them. There was one person will come in and say, "Okay, like after you go there," we don't know the difference.
And then Thursday is when he's not going to be here. And so, yes. So again, as Reverend Gray said, you will see new faces, will bring new information to you. And it's good to get a myriad of objective thinkers. So Liberian people, thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed the show today. I enjoy our humor. Marco brought a lot of sense of humor to bring me down a little bit in terms of my way of doing things.
Well, your pressure was up?
Yeah, because I won't be there, yeah, but then you can be twisting me up a little bit. Okay, let's go. Thank you very much. We'll see you again. It's 6:03. Bye-bye.
She got a call 6:03. Echo.
Bye.
All right, folks. See you tomorrow at 8:30. And thank you so much for showing up. Bye-bye.